Well, would Donald Trump pardon Mayor Eric Adams if convicted?
Interesting question. Well, the president-elect answering it today on the day when Adams got some bad news for his re-election. Pix 7's Eileen LaPalmer has the latest for us from Midtown.
I don't think I should comment.
New Yorkers reacting to President-elect Donald Trump saying he would pardon Mayor Eric Adams if he's convicted.
I think it should be said now, because look at what Trump did. Come on.
Here's how Trump phrased it.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. I think that he was treated pretty unfairly. Now, I haven't seen the gravity of it all, but it seems, like being upgraded in an airplane many years ago. I know probably everybody here has been upgraded.
The indictment, however, also includes alleged campaign fund corruption. Trump's comments of support coming as the New York City Campaign Finance Board announced Monday that for now it will not give Adams the more than $4 million he requested in matching public funds for his 2025 re-election campaign. They cited the ongoing criminal indictment and his campaign's failure to adhere to the program's rules. Adams' attorney said in part in a statement they're disappointed, but added we will continue to work with the board to address any issues so that funds can be appropriately dispersed.
His ability to raise money to be competitive is really shot.
Susan Kang, associate professor of political science at John Jay School of Criminal Justice, says Adams has been distancing himself from New York City as a sanctuary city, which puts him at a disadvantage to run in the Democratic primary in June, but added,
I think that Eric Adams is trying to signal to President Trump that President Trump has an ally in Eric.
Of course he has an ally, and this is what power gets you. This is what great relationships get you. Of course he has an ally, and this is what power gets you. This is what picking the right side gets you. Now, that is a incredible trump card, no pun intended, incredible trump card to have the president of the United States of America, the incoming president, say that he would pardon you. And for the case that's being made against him, to be honest with you, it does seem a little fishy. And I've been saying that it seems like retribution from the Democratic Party for Eric Adams at some point not playing his role, not playing his position, not being the Brandon Johnson or Mike Johnson of New York, which, who knows, could have also affected the election in some way, shape, or form, because they were not seeking any insight, any support from the largest major city in the United States of America. Because on one hand, you can draw lines and say, well, you knew that New York City was going to be blue regardless. Like, there's going to be a blue wall in major cities, even though they're moving more towards being Republican. When you looked at California from the Electoral College, you looked at Illinois, you looked at New York, you looked at places like that, there was going to be a blue wall. New Mexico, so on and so forth. However, you still should have support of the largest major city in the United States of America, whether it be population or commerce. You should have that endorsement and have that person working on your behalf. But obviously, so much went wrong with the Democratic Party in this past election, largely because they didn't resonate with the people, and it's not the party of the middle class anymore, which is one of the reasons why Trump won every battleground state, in addition to winning the popular vote. But sometime over the last 2 to 3 years, Eric Adams became a leper in the Biden and Harris administration's view and eyes. And so they basically completely abandoned him. They said, listen, you're not going to continue to speak up and start to have second thoughts about what our agenda is with this migrant crisis. That's what it seemed. And then Eric Adams, for his part, completely seemed like he abandoned what was going on with this migrant crisis because he realized that it wasn't going to work in the best interest of the residents in New York City. So let me give him a little bit of credit on that. On the flip side, he was playing both sides, but it seems as though he played his cards right. The number one goal for a person, let alone a mayor, let alone a mayor of New York City, is self-preservation. Eric Adams is not trying to do any time, and Eric Adams needed Trump's Trump card to be able to pardon him because obviously he wasn't going to get any kind of love from the Democratic Party or Biden because he wasn't going to extend that same Hunter Biden pardon back to whatever time that he was to Eric Adams. It seems like Eric Adams started to be targeted, railroaded. Everybody started to be raided around him, his closest aides and all of that stuff. And then they started to tie it to some phantom thing of some Turkey consulate upgraded him to get some favors for Eric Adams to be able to continue to push things through over in New York City. But Trump did, for his part, say that he was going to pardon Eric Adams. And so that is probably a huge relief. In return, Eric Adams probably got to work very hard with Tom Homan, even though if he don't say it, completely and be like, yeah, you know what, all of you immigrants got to go. He has to work with Tom Homan and the Trump administration in order to ensure that things go smoothly as far as this deportation and whatever else comes. And that's when it comes to politics. That's when the politics start to stick in. But here's Eric Adams actually speaking to the issue of whether or not he's going to be pardoned by the Trump administration or if he had any conversation to be pardoned.
In our last conversation, you said that God acts in mysterious ways. Today, the President-elect Donald Trump is willing to review your case, and he said that he's considering to pardon your corruption federal case. Do you think this is a way that God is showing you right now to go?
Listen,
got a little extra pep in his step now.
Sometimes you have to let go and let God. I have been clear on that from day one, being in office, what my religious belief, and God has navigated my life. I tell people it's GPS. That's my God positioned satellite. I got to do my job. And I have an attorney that is going to look at every avenue to ensure I get justice. I did nothing wrong. Should not have been charged. And I just think, God has a way of showing the irony of life. I'm just saying the same thing that President Biden said. President Biden stated his Justice Department has been politicized. President Trump stated that. I stated that. Family members who find themselves on the FBI list because they're advocating for their family members. And I just started looking at these cases over and over again. No Americans should be going through what I'm going through. And what my attorney decides to do, I'm going to follow the direction of my attorney. And one thing he says, listen, Eric, I know that you are this guy that wants to fight and constantly defend yourself. I need you to have discipline right now. And I'm going to follow his direction. He's a great attorney, probably one of the best in the country, and he gave me my instruction. I'm going to follow my instructions, and whatever pathway he sees fit, that is what I'm going to do.
Well, how do you feel about him saying that?
My attorney would tell you how I feel.
Mr. Mayor?
He's happy. He's excited.
Had any conversations with the president-elect on the pardon or any other topic, and would you accept it if offered?
He's addressed a lot of this. Do you have any other questions?
Well,
only thing we talk about is improving the city that I love, the city that he loves, and the city that the New Yorkers love. That's the only conversation we have, how we improve the city.
Spoke to recently at all?
No, not since the Madison Square Garden.
Any other questions not addressed? Joseph?
Don't talk directly to Trump.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Trump today said that he would consider a pardon for you. How do you feel about that? This is a different question because it's about Trump's comments today. My second question...
Exactly what you wanted to say.
No, it's not.
It's not?
Okay, my second question is Idala said today that Ingrid's case, he believes, is targeted at her because the investigators want her to flip on you. Do you agree with that sentiment?
The Trump question, see my attorney. The Ingrid question, see her attorney.
So I do think Eric Adams obviously now has the ability to focus more on trying to win an election to become win another term as mayor of New York City. But he probably got that monkey off of his back. But we'll see what happens. We'll play it out. Looks like Trump is willing to pardon Eric Adams based off of what he said. And it looks like Eric Adams is incredibly happy as a result of it. But I'm curious as to what you guys think. Let me know inside of the comments whether you think that Trump should pardon Eric Adams. And if you think that Eric Adams is going to play ball now with the Republican Party. I think that Eric Adams is a Republican anyway, masquerading as a Democrat. But let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, T. Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'll see y'all later. Peace.